Hello, this is Pac-Man in Pac-Man Collection for GBA. That's Game Boy Advance. Running this in the emulator mGBA in Windows. Last time I played this, I mostly played the full screen mode. Today, the full screen mode has problems. The full screen mode, did it run slow? No, it has, well, I'll show you real quick. So the full screen mode looks kind of cool in this slightly super deformed way, but you see how when you go around corners, it doesn't sort of scoot you ahead? Like in normal Pac-Man, when you go around a corner, when you take a tight corner, it's supposed to sort of move you ahead by a pixel or so, but that doesn't happen in this game. And in the full screen mode, which makes it feel very slow and awkward compared to how Pac-Man is supposed to feel. It just doesn't feel like the elegant and smooth game that Pac-Man is supposed to be. So I'm not going to play that mode. I am going to play the scrolling mode, because the scrolling mode, now watch what happens when I go around corners here. Look at that, see how I squirt ahead a little bit? You get that little speed boost going around the corners? That's how it's supposed to be. I kind of screwed up. Now, of course, it's not supposed to... Arcade Pac-Man does not have a tiny little scrolling section of the screen or anything, but, you know, what are you going to do? This is all on a little GBA. Whoa! That was kind of a close call. Running on a GBA, you know. Now, I can't say I'm all that impressed by it, mind you, because, 2 years earlier, there was the Neo Geo Pocket Color version of Pac-Man, which could do a full screen mode without screwing up the movement. That was made by Namco themselves, though. This port was made by a company called Mass Media. I'm dead. I think they were an American company. Maybe they're still, I don't know. Somehow I want to say they're not around anymore, but no, I don't remember. Maybe they're technically still around, but they haven't done anything in a while. I should probably look that up. Why don't we do that now? Because I'm impatient. Mass Media Games. Mass Media Company, says Wikipedia. Oh, they're still around. Based in Moore Park, California. They began in the 1980s at Cinemaware. Wow. Well, does that mean it was people from their ex-Cinemaware people? This is Wikipedia, by the way. They formed a production... Okay, yeah. Wait, they formed a production unit called Philips POV Entertainment Group. That was at Philips? Was Cinemaware at Philips? No? I don't think so. In 1995, the company became an exclusive developer for Time Warner Interactive. After Time Warner halted their interactive division, Mass Media became an independent developer. So this collection came out in 2001. In 2007, Wikipedia says they were acquired by THQ, who closed the studio in November 2008. So February 2007, they were acquired, and then they were closed in November 2008. The company started back up immediately, I guess independently, focusing on developing for the Sony platforms, including the PlayStation 3. On PlayStation 3, they developed content and spaces for its social gaming network PlayStation Home, including the games the Midway 2, and the Midway 3, which were 3 game spaces with 10 mini-games in each, with 10 rewards per mini-game. Oh man, they were making PlayStation Home stuff. I think I played like an early demo of that or something. The green ticket used to play the games in the 3 midways was consistently the best-selling item in PS Home. Wow. Mass Media has also continued to develop game engine technology for PlayStation 3 and other platforms. Well, I'd hope they advance beyond PlayStation 3 at some point. Although PlayStation 3 is pretty sweet. Anyway, this includes the first non-Sony PlayStation 3 implementations of fully SPU-based GPU rendering command generation. Oh, that's technical. Significantly reducing rendering overhead on the main CPU used in Saints Row 2 and subsequent PS3 titles in 2018. So they were independent again from late 2008 to 2018 when they were acquired by 2K. Oh no. So let's see, there's Pac-Man Collection in their game list under 2001. They did Shrek's Super Party in 2002, among other things. Pac-Man Fever. What the heck was Pac-Man Fever? Oh, it's a party game. They did The Simpsons Skateboarding on PS2 in 2002. They did Blackthorn on GBA. That'd be a port of the Blizzard game. 2D side-scrolling platformer. They did Rock and Roll Racing for GBA. That's another, Silicon and Synapse, which became Blizzard. Wow. Shrek Super Party for GameCube in 2003. Lost Vikings in 2003 for GBA. They did a lot of GBA ports in the early 2000s. The Bible game in 2005 for PS2 and Xbox. Full Spectrum Warrior games, whatever. It's just like FPSs, probably. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Tetris Evolution for Xbox 360 in 2007. Oh, they made Saints Row 2. They must have just done no, that was developed by Volition, so they must have just done that part of it that was mentioned earlier, maybe. Marvel Superhero Squad for PS2 in 2009. Darksiders, they wouldn't have been the main developers on Darksiders. No, that was Vigil. Then that Midway and Midway 2 stuff for PS Home in 2010. Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank collections. Aren't those different publishers? Jack and Daxter is Sony. Ratchet and Clank is also Sony. I can't keep track of this stuff. Wait, Ratchet and Clank. Yeah, I always thought they were different publishers. It's all Sony. Why would you have 2 series with names like that? That's psycho. We have Jack and Daxter. Let's do another one that sounds just like it. Wait, so... yeah, that's crazy. They did Mafia 3 in 2016. No, they must have just done more like back-end stuff again. XCOM 2, War of the Chosen, they have credits on. Oh, that's an expansion. They didn't get to main development credits on any of this stuff, though. Firaxis got the development credit for that. So then, that was 2017, XCOM 2 War of the Chosen, as DLC for XCOM 2 on PS4 and Xbox. Then they only have 2 more credits since that in 2017. In 2018, they have Carnival games for Windows, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Wikipedia doesn't even have an article for that. It must be like mini games or something. Then they have a new Tales from the Borderlands credit, which is probably a port for Switch in 2022, but that's it. Nothing since 2022, and that's only one listing since the next latest one before that was 2018. So not a whole lot going on in mass media currently. Well, or if there is, it's all just completely uncredited stuff. I mean, they were bought by, oh yeah, so they were bought by 2K. Well, their careers page on massmedia.com/careers.html. I love how they have HTML pages. Says, want to work here in one font, then below that in a different font. We currently have the following positions open, colon. And then the rest of the page is blank, except for their copyright, their 2013 copyright notice at the bottom of the page. That's kind of amazing. If you look at the source code for the page, under that we currently have the following positions open. There's a commented out section that says, or sentence that says, please feel free to send us your cover letter, resume, and samples of your work. Reels, portfolios, sample code, personal projects, etc. Since we are always on the lookout being two separate non-hyphenated words, for highly trained individuals. It's like some JavaScript widgets that aren't visible. Oh, and they have a commented out email address, jobs@massmedia.com. Send us an email. Well. So wait, are they? Oh yeah, they're in California, right? They're in some kind of janky looking office park in the desert. Moore Park, California. So yeah, there isn't a whole lot on their site. We make games better is what they say now. So yeah, they're just doing like back-end stuff, I guess, for 2K. Like, I mean, maybe that's cool. It's probably relatively low stress, right? Maybe, I would hope. You're not getting your name on anything, but I mean, you probably show up in some credits somewhere. So yeah, they're just another little studio working. I don't know if they're little, who knows? They're not obviously hiring, but who knows what that means. 2K, how big is 2K? 2K themselves a subsidiary of Take-Two Interactive. Isn't Take-Two? I guess Take-Two isn't a subsidiary. Take-Two had $5.3 billion revenue in 2024. So, I guess there's a lot of stuff they could be working on. The Mafia series. Well, yeah, they had one Mafia credit, didn't they? GTA series, Civ series, Borderlands, Bioshock, NBA 2K. Well, they're owned by 2K, so I guess it'd be more likely to be 2K stuff. NBA 2K, PGA Tour 2K. Well, 2K themselves. Okay, so 2K has Bioshock, Borderlands, Civ, Mafia, NBA 2K, PGA Tour 2K, WWE 2K, XCOM series. 4,000 employees at 2K. So there you go. But back in 2001, they were doing this. Oops. So So I just so this this scrolling mode feels fine. It doesn't have the weirds. It took me forever to figure out why. Yeah. Oh no. Easy come, easy come. Took me forever to figure out why the scrolling, or the full screen version, felt weird. Actually, I didn't figure it out for this. I played this for like, what was it, like 2.5 hours or something? I couldn't figure out exactly what was not right about it, but I knew it wasn't right. And then I was playing the Miss Pac-Man port they did for a collection called Namco Museum that actually came out the months before on GBA. And that's where I played that for like another hour and a half before I realized what the deal was. Because that one has the same problem in its full screen mode. Oh no, see, okay, so the challenge is now in the... So it plays fine, except for the fact that you can't see the whole screen, so I totally forgot I left dots up here. And you can't see where all the ghosts are, necessarily either, if they're not on the half of the screen that you can see. For a while, back when I was playing the, well, was it? I guess it must have been the Neo Geo Pocket Color version. And I wanted to play that full screen because the graphics were prettier, I thought, in full screen, easier to see anyway. Or in scrolling. I wanted to play that in the scrolling mode, and I tried to convince myself that... Oh gosh. I'm doing that again. I was doing that a lot. I couldn't figure out what my deal was with that. I think it's okay. I don't think it's input delay, but there could be... Oh, now I'm getting janky on the controls. Oh, heck. Anyway, with the Neo Geo Pocket Color version years ago, I was trying to convince myself that scrolling mode added excitement and, you know, suspense and surprises. And, but, yeah, I don't know. It's obviously not what the inventor of Pac-Man, whose name I have painfully forgotten, intended. And, you know, mass media, I mean, you know, they've now been sort of condemned, I guess you could say. I don't know, maybe they like it to a sort of complete anonymity in their field, being a part of a subsidiary of a subsidiary, just doing back-end work on bigger games, probably. Yeah, there's a little input delay, I guess. That could be the emulator. I don't know. I thought I was done with GBA emulators after I tried, like, Sonic games, and I failed to get into Sonic. On any platform. Not that I'm, you know, some Sonic games are all, I'm in trouble. Some Sonic games are okay, I just, they didn't really, like, make me keep wanting to go back. Just not really into platforming. I even thought I could get into Super Mario Brothers, like, NES platform games, and I couldn't do that either. Oh, heck. I'm having real control problems right now. So I did get up to 81,000 in the full screen mode. This should really have separate scores between the full screen mode and the scrolling mode, because the full screen mode. So once you get used to the serious problem of not getting that little speed boost around corners in the full screen mode in this game, if you can survive long enough, when you get to the later, oh yeah, that's it, isn't it? You get to the later levels in the full screen mode, and it can't keep up with the speed at which Pac-Man is supposed to run on higher levels. Like, the ghosts are supposed to be pretty darn fast later on, and it couldn't do that. Golly, wow. It seemingly couldn't do that speed, so it just kind of maintained what felt like a comfortable cruising speed. So if you can get far enough with the crummy cornering, you eventually get to a point where you're kind of just cruising. Which I suppose could be kind of a good thing. It just feels not so great up until you achieve a certain overall velocity. Arg. Uh-oh. Oh, hey, wow. I didn't think I had enough time. I better just eat some dots here. Ooh, that was kind of lucky. I guess I was fairly sure there that I hadn't stranded any dots in the upper half of the screen. There was a tiny flicker of doubt in my mind right at the end. Wait, did I leave any dots? Oh yeah, you can't do that, can you? Okay. I thought I pushed a direction there that would not have taken me into the ghost, but yeah, the control. Oh dang, we got the orange again already. Well, I got the orange in your face, ghost. Face ghost, space ghost. Sigh. So yeah, I don't have an actual GBA to play this on, so I can't like compare input delay or anything. Oh my gosh. But see, then I probably just start using quote-unquote input delay as an excuse, so I should just not worry about that if I'm not going to get off my buns and try to measure it. Although again, I don't really know how I would, since I could do a rough version of, in like fighting games, using cell phone footage. And a punch button, but this game doesn't have a punch button, which gives you obvious visual feedback when you hit a button. So it'd be a little tougher with directional input. Well, that was kind of dumb. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it didn't go into the tunnel. Anyway, in theory, I shouldn't really be able to get anywhere. I mean, 81,000 is a ridiculous score for me in Pac-Man. It's like 20k higher than any other Pac-Man score I've gotten in any version of Pac-Man. Usually, in like MAME or whatever, if I can break 40k or get 40k, then I feel like I've done okay. See, Clyde's always the one who catches me around the center trying to go for fruit, and on the first stage he isn't out yet, so it's easy. Well, I screwed that up, should have gotten killed. There is still a slightly dull feeling about this playing the gameplay here, and I think it's probably some kind of input delay is bothering me, but again, I don't have a real way of measuring that well, so... Okay, well... Oh no. There was that slight bit of doubt, and indeed I did not have all the dots. Oh. He's gaining on me. That was creepy because you could see him catching up pixel by pixel. Zoomed in mode. I was wondering when that second strawberry was going to show up. Uh-oh. Okay, I have a whole nother power pellet over here. Oh! Yeah, that worked out. I'm always gonna have that little doubt about if I had got all the dots on the other half of the screen. Now, speaking of the Neo Geo Pocket Color version that came out 2 years before this version, that was my last recorded Pac-Man episode, was playing that in its full screen mode. And I did a little bit of its scrolling mode, and then the scrolling mode in that game, the screen is so... the Neo Geo Pocket Color screen is so tiny, like it didn't have a wide screen. It just had like a 4:3 screen, I think 4:3 aspect ratio. So you even have to scroll a little bit side to side. So playing that one scrolling mode is going to be real challenging. But does seem to have sharper control. At least I'm playing that one in the emulator mGBA, which is a pretty good as far as input responsiveness goes. I've played like Ninja, what are they? Whatever the Ninja series for Genesis is on that thing, and you know, those all controlled pretty well. Okay, 24K, is that my high score so far? Wait a second, what? So red ghosts usually come down there? Oh man. Uh-oh. Well. Oh, sheesh. Oh, whoa, it didn't make dot eating sounds there. I guess I have noticed eating sounds drop out sometimes in this version. They don't... I didn't run into that in that Neo Geo Pocket Color version. I'm just gonna keep talking up the Neo Geo Pocket Color, apparently. I got dots all over the place up there. Uh-oh. Oh, wow, okay, thanks, Clyde. Clyde could have eaten my bacon. Whatever that means. I'll just run into Clyde then. Oh my gosh, I'm falling apart. Dang it. Okay, 10,000 points. Can I not screw up for 10,000 points? Probably not. Why did I double back? I didn't even get close to 10,000 points. I got 3,000 points. I still had a bunch of power pellets left, and I got just foolishly caught in the middle of the screen for no good reason. I mean, you gotta get used to not knowing where the ghosts are when you're going up screen there, and I was just not on the ball. I mean, I saw the ghost coming, I just had no mental preparation for actually altering course, I guess. Or it's just crummy reflexes. I don't know. Take your pick. But I certainly can't blame that one on some kind of mile-long input delay or something. Okay. Uh-oh. I think I got all the dots up top. Oh, I got him. That was kind of weird. I got him with the just bare end of my beak. I guess. I could swear that the red ghost doesn't usually come down that way in the arcade version. Ay, ay, ay. That was just brainless. Oops. Yeah, cool. Yeah, control feels a little squidgy, a little drifty. Just slightly, like you can't feel it for sure consciously, you know. So I guess that means it's not like how many frames would it have to be for that? There's Clyde. Clyde. I mean, that would be like 6-frame delay where you can actually feel it, right? At least in like a fighting game. So it can't be that much, but ugh. Oh, Clyde didn't cut off the... Oh, man. Almost got me killed when he didn't go across there. Oh, the red ghost came from off of the screen. Sigh. Okay, fine. Well, almost within 10K again, and down to the last life again. And I did this 30,000 exactly. I did the same exact thing. Just run into the pink ghost coming down from its corner as I come up from there. Wow. And, like, I should have plenty of time to react to that, but I don't even try the input. I'm so, like, not prepared. Like, the problem is I'm not really thinking, like, oh, I could have died there. I'm not really thinking, like, a ghost could be coming down here, because I'm used to the full screen version where you would see it. And so I, like, part of my brain is just assuming it's all clear or something, and I think is the problem. You know what happens when you assume. I didn't do that right. I could have got at least one of them. Is it just me, or do the numbers, the score numbers that come up like when you eat a fruit, look a little odd? I don't notice it so much when I eat a ghost, but when I eat a fruit it seems weird. Is it just a color? Like I'm expecting them to be blue or something? They look somehow slightly pink. Actually, I think I would have been expecting them to be white. They were blue in one of these ports, and I thought that was weird. Oh, well, no, that's blue, and that seems correct to my brain. But is the fruit... Are the fruit numbers supposed to be a different color? I don't remember. Yeah, and that was another thing that I forgot about. In this version, there's like static crackle on a lot of the sound samples. Which I did not notice being the case in... Oh yeah, Clyde. I can't resist getting into that Fruit Loop, that deadly Fruit Loop. Like the Miss Pac-Man Collection does not have crackle on the sound effects, static, at least that my ear can detect, and that's kind of funny because that port came out before this one. So it's like they just got somehow ended up with some really poor quality sound samples for Pac-Man. I don't know what that was supposed to be. Oh, I'm still doing it. Oh my gosh. What am I doing? Just dying completely nonsensically. Well, I always have to have like no lives left at 20,000 points for some reason. That's 30,000 points, I guess. Still doable. I swear that's just different. Oh. Wow, that's what, the third time I've died there within like a pixel of the power pellet. Just going too slow for the pellet. Oh yeah, that was another thing in this port. The collision detection on the fruit was weird in full screen mode. You could get like almost all the way through the strawberry sometimes without it picking up. I don't know if it does that in scrolling mode. Haven't noticed it so far, but it seemed like I had to go pretty far into that orange before it got picked up. Here's where I always run into the pink guy, right? Pinky, as he may be called in some circles. Shoot. Don't juke on me, Ghost. I can't handle input. Oh no, the apple. Oh yes, you had to go like almost all the way through. Oh man. Is that it? Jeez, I can get to 30,000. So there is a little funkiness with the fruit detection still. I didn't necessarily think this through. Go home. I just can't remember the red ghost's name anymore. Like I saw it the other day on the demo screen, and I just don't have brain cells that seem to want to store it. Oops. Oh, Clyde, you dog. Clyde almost got me there, and then he had to turn around. Oh, I thought I would be smart and go up the right-hand side, and I was again totally unprepared. Well, even more totally unprepared, because I never go up the right-hand side. Oh, heck. That was a foolish way to go. Oh. I used to think if I didn't get the fruit, then the icon wouldn't appear in the lower left. Like, I thought that until quite recently. I don't think that's the case, right? I'm doubting myself, but I always doubt myself. Hey. Which, I don't know. I think when people, like, have no self-doubt, it's kind of creepy. Oh, there, I should have had doubt about the dots. Okay. Like, I listened to interviews with some old-time comic book industry people. Like, there was a pretty good one on, it's called Comic Book Historians. Is that the name of the podcast? They just started a new series of interview sessions. I think it's from like 2021 with, what's his name? Jim Shooter. He was a pretty oddball comic book developer, comic book guy. Because, like, he was writing comic books for DC Comics professionally at age like 13. That was back in the late 50s. Oh my gosh, I missed that turn. Or wait, no, that must have been mid to late 60s. Yeah. And he eventually became editor-in-chief at Marvel Comics. What am I doing? I'm falling to pieces. But, I don't know, it seems like maybe because he was writing comics at such an early age, he just got this idea of that he knew everything. And so when he talks, it's just always with this sort of certitude. Is that even worse? Yeah, I can't even be certain about that. And just, like, not, you don't feel like he's necessarily, well, he does have a sense of humility about a lot of things, or certain things anyway, because he'll talk about how he was this young guy who didn't really know anything and stuff, but he was also known to be kind of unbending, and later on when he was editor-in-chief at Marvel, he was just kind of like, you had to do things by the ways he had decided that things needed to be done, and he kind of became this one-size-fits-all thing, at least when he was dealing with younger writers. In his interview, it sounded like he gave more veteran writers and artists some benefit of the doubt, but doesn't sound like he gave much of that to younger creators. And just kind of this feeling like he just, like, why would you even question that this thing he came up with at some point in his life is the correct way of doing things and should always be done? Who's another? Oh, Neil Adams is another guy who seems pretty sure that he's figured something out completely himself. I mean, but Neil Adams is a guy who became certain that the center of the Earth was hollow. Oh hey, the sea parted for a little second there. I mean, in this day and age, just about, Neil Adams decided that the Earth was hollow. And there's just these ridiculous interviews with him where it's like, well, yeah, it's hollow, otherwise, like, he had some explanation about it expanding or something. It's just... And he's a guy who just always has an explanation for everything, and he just sounds like of course I'm right. And like he's revealing great secrets to you. Well, I thought that was... Speaking of failed certitude, I thought that was the last of the dots. Well, here I am again, no lives. 5,000 plus points to go to reach my arbitrary, not feeling too bad about myself score. And will I cruise straight up into the pink ghost again? Close to it. Oh, you get more eating time now, that's good. Oh, I can't get out of here. Oh, no. I can't... That speed with in scrolling mode, I can't seem to handle. There's just this... The edge of the unknown is very close. Okay, that Inky didn't even react. Those dots did not make a sound again. There's one more comic guy who always sounds real certain of himself. Is it Byrne? Not really. Byrne doesn't do a whole lot of interviews anyway. Who the heck am I thinking of? Oh, probably, who was he? Oh, Jim Steranko. Steranko has that self-assuredness. But, you know, you wonder, especially with him, well, and with Neil, I suppose, like how much of that is just sort of the salesmanship side of him. Because Steranko is definitely sort of into, oh my gosh, the failure of inputting my inputs. Definitely a bit of a confidence man in how he sold himself, and so is Neil Adams to an extent. That was kind of dumb. Oh, I kind of thought that wasn't all the dots. This isn't going well. This version just doesn't, even with the correct cornering movement, it just still feels slightly off. Well, it's not level 1. Clyde is not in the ghost house. He's there cutting me off. I was thinking it was level 1. Clyde, oh, see, that fruit should have, oh. I probably could have turned around there and not died. $20,000 points and no lives. That's not great. I should have been dead there probably. Well, hi. Ohio. Ah. What are you doing? Right. If I don't touch the control, he goes to the left. That's it. That's what they call it. Yeah, those dots don't make sound. It's weird, it's creepy. Clyde was going gung-ho on me there. Uh-oh. Where are the dots? Oh. I gotta just get out of the bottom of the screen here. I can't handle going up while Pinky's coming down. Oh, they're already out though. Okay. I don't know what to do. Of course, Clyde's gonna cut me off there now. He's coming across there. I didn't get the apple. I didn't really mean to go down there. Oops. Dang. Oh. Ooh. Okay, I'm just gonna eat a bunch of power pellets. How about that? $40,000. I did it. Oh man. Uh-oh. No, that's gonna be rough. That actually worked out. Like, there was plenty of time to get over there since I caught that. I didn't think I was gonna catch that second ghost. Just playing chicken now. Oh boy, they reversed right after I got the power pellets. It was like they didn't reverse at all. I think that's what must have happened. Melon. It's a little sluggish to be picked up, but uh-oh. Ah, I missed a turn. Hello. Oh no. I'm not gonna make it. Oh, heck. Well, 49,000 is a pretty good score for me, so I can't complain that this plays particularly inaccurately. It does feel a little input laggy, and it's probably going a little slower than it should be on those later stages. Well, yeah, after all, that's how I... Well, yeah, so I shouldn't have been... Like, that last pack, life, lasted me from like 20k to 49k, right? That's ridiculous, but I think it's because the game almost gets easier because you're speeding up until a certain point, and the ghosts are supposed to be speeding up more, but they don't really, or the game doesn't really reach its top speed because it just, I don't know, it just doesn't. Now, I don't think I noticed that problem in the Miss Pac-Man port, which is again curious. Although I didn't get as, so maybe it was just that I didn't get as far anyway. I don't know. But yeah, this one in particular, like the sounds, there's all this static on the sounds in this one, whereas the Miss Pac-Man one doesn't have the static on the sound effects. Blinky, that's it. Why can't I remember Blinky? I can remember all the others, but not Blinky. Blinky used to be the only one I remembered, which is funny because Pinky is like the colors in the name. I guess I don't think of the red ghost as Blinky. Like, what's she's supposed to be blinking his eyes? He's just got a cold stare. I wonder what their names mean in Japanese. I should look that up because they have like 3 different names in Japanese. Well, anyway, so next on the pack docket, oops, just like flip my phone onto the floor, is the Miss Pac-Man by Mass Media for GBA in the Namco Museum Collection. It's just called Namco Museum, not Collection. That came out a month before this collection, but which seems to not have as many problems. And we'll see how the scrolling mode in that one goes. See how I feel about like input delay and maybe overall game speed on later episodes. I think maybe it's better, at least with the overall game speed, in terms of not running a little slow like this, I could swear does once you get up to the higher stages, like the double melon stage. It still has the fruit detection problem. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking I could hang with these in the scrolling mode because the turning physics are correct and stuff, but there's still, at least in this Pac-Man one, there's still stuff that's just a little off. Static sound effects, the possible slight input delay. That's a few more frames of delay than I would like it to be. At least that's what it feels like. And or at least that's what I've convinced myself it feels like. And probably like once you hit maybe the melon stages, the game speed is not as high as it should be, so you're kind of cruising for a while there, which is not quite the correct difficulty curve, and leads to somewhat inflated scores like that, especially that 80,000. Anyway, also I'm wondering about that fruit number color now. It just looks weird to me, or maybe it's the font itself looks weird. I don't know. But who knows? Anyway, this one, at least in scrolling mode, it corners correctly, so it doesn't feel super bad to play. It does feel a little sluggish to register the inputs, perhaps, but not enough that you could actually like consciously tell, really. So I question my own suspicion, but whatever. Like, I don't get that feeling playing the Neo Geo Pocket Color version in Mednafen. That one feels nice and sharp. And certainly MAME feels fine. And PS1, Namco Museum Volume 1, his Pac-Man Volume 3 is Miss Pac-Man. Those feel fine. In DuckStation, I'm using the same DualSense D-pad for all of these. So yeah, this one just feels a little sluggish on the controls. Again, that could be an mGBA thing. I don't do a whole lot of GBA emulation, and these GBA emulators, like there's this, and then there's I keep forgetting the name. Like, it's got a funny name. Game Boy. Anyway, they're like not quite as advanced as emulators for a lot of other systems, non-handheld systems, for instance. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. This might be the last time I play this particular game. I mean, I'd like to be able to have, a few different pack versions for the sake of variety, just, to have fun with it, but I'm just thinking, I just don't like the slight feeling of delayed control in this, and the staticky sound, and then the suspicion that it's sort of too easy once you get to the certain stage where it should be running a bit faster. This is all just supposition and feels, but, what can I say? I live by feels. That's not entirely true. I used to measure things. Like, if it was a fighting game, I would set it up in training mode and film myself throwing light punches and do a rough estimate of the input delay. Whatever. Pac-Man and Ryu exist in different classifications in my mind. Is Pac-Man in? Oh, let's not go there. Okay, thanks. See you later. Bye bye.